Picture this, the King Cobra, the world's longest venomous snake, and a species of incredible power and danger that preys chiefly on other snakes, somehow through some freak act of evolution had grown to the unbelievable size of a Titanoboa snake, an ancient creature known to be the largest serpent ever to slither across this planet. What impact would it have on our civilization? What threat would it pose here on Earth? Well, let's find out, shall we? What's going on, internet, and once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions, the place where the ancient world meets the modern era with little to no impunity, as today we curiously ask the question, what if the King Cobra was the size of a Titanoboa snake? Roll the clip. Now, we know through fossilized evidence that the Titanoboa snake was the largest of its species ever found, often measuring in at a whopping 40 plus feet during its time on Earth over 60 million years ago. But we also know through the same evidence that it wasn't venomous or necessarily aggressively predatory. In fact, it was most likely a piscivore, a creature that survives mainly on aquatic vegetation and marine life. We know this through its teeth, which feature perplexingly unique traits for a snake of its size, and for the most part were used for holding onto prey rather than means of making a kill. So then imagine if it had the razor sharp venomous fangs of a King Cobra. Jeez, that's not so good. Before we step into that frightful world though, here at LBQ we'd be nothing without your consistent viewership and diligent interaction. If you've got a burning idea for a life's biggest question that you just can't keep to yourself, then please make sure to speak your mind in the comment section down below, and why don't you leave a thumbs up and hit that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. Also, make sure to stick around all the way till the end, as I'll be reading out some of your more creative comments from the past few days. Titanoboa aside, the largest venomous snake ever known to mankind was the Lauphis crotalloid, which measured between 10 and 13 feet long and weighed in at a massive 26 kilograms. Granted, that's small fry compared to the Titanoboa and considerably weak sauce even compared to the King Cobra, which can grow up to about 18 feet but only ever weigh in between 6 and 9 kilograms. But what this means to us is that 4 million years ago, amongst the grasslands of what is now Greece, a monstrous venomous snake existed that was incredibly well fed and the undisputed apex predator of its environment. Sadly then, the King Cobra's current story is much different and is classed as a vulnerable species constantly under threat of extinction. Its existence is pressured by traditional medicine, harvesting the King Cobra for its meat and skin, and its habitat is increasingly threatened by deforestation. Now, by no means are we saying that the King Cobra's conservation status would be changed if it was the size of a Titanoboa. Actually no, scratch that, because of course it would. Yes, the King Cobra's story would be much different, and perhaps not necessarily for the better. The King Cobra is most commonly found across the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia and the southern areas of East Asia, in Bangladesh, Bhutan, Burma, Cambodia, China, India, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Nepal, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand and Vietnam. So heads up guys, if you live in any one of those countries, be on the lookout for the 40-foot venomous king of all snakes, the King Titan Cobra. Yeah, that's a name that strikes fear. At its current size, the King Cobra chiefly hunts other snakes, primarily rat snakes and pythons, but has also been known to feast on birds and larger rodents. Its primary hunting method is down to its sensitivity to earthborne vibration, used to track its prey's location before striking with deadly venomous fangs, incapacitating its prey and then swallowing it whole. How about we slap that same hunting behavior on a creature that's larger than a public transit bus? Because in that case, the King Cobra's menu just got radically updated. How about the Komodo dragon of Indonesia that has no natural predators? Well, it does now, the King Titan Cobra. Ever heard of the sloth bear, one of the most feared animals in the whole of Asia? Well, guess who ain't scared of the sloth bear? Yup, King Titan Cobra. How about the Bengal tiger? Dare we even ask how this monster snake would fare against the undisputed ultimate man-eater of India? Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the King Titan Cobra would more than likely be eating it for lunch. Now, don't get us wrong, questioners, we're not saying that size is everything. No. Far from it, but size combined with one of the most effective predatory techniques on the planet, yeah, that's kind of everything. Now, a regularly sized king cobra has an incredibly slow metabolic rate, being both an ectothermic animal and an ambush hunter, meaning that it can go months and months between eating a meal. With the king titan cobra, it's safe to say that its metabolic rate would be even slower, perhaps not needing to feast for up to a year. What relationship would that process have had with the people that populate the same area? The king cobra is incredibly culturally significant across its natural habitat, especially in Myanmar, Sri Lanka and India, where the king cobra is a prominent symbol in folklore and mythology. In our hypothetical scenario though, at such incredible size, it wouldn't be too hard to believe these societies worshipping the king titan cobra as a god, perhaps a vengeful god that feasts only once a year. It's safe to say that the dense forests and mangroves of Asia would be a much different habitation with the king titan cobra, much similar to the influence that Bengal tigers exert on India's rural areas. Our real question is, could the king titan cobra survive the threat of civilization's expansion? Much like the regularly sized king cobra, could it have weathered the storm of society? Or would it have slithered inward, deep underground, waiting for its time to strike? Well, unfortunately folks, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Before we depart though, here's some of the best things you've had to say over the past few days. God Bear says, what if 1% of the human population randomly developed superpowers? Well dude, that's something that I think about on a daily basis. I'd hold out hope for time travel manipulation, but I'd probably end up with, I don't know, webbed feet or something. What superpowers would you guys hope for? Mr. Garlic Bread says, I love how this channel goes from Tupac to demons. And while I also love garlic bread, I also love the fact that we cover literally anything that comes our way. Remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question, guys. Well, yeah, actually, there is. On that note, cheers for sticking around all the way to the end. If you're a fan of this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and we'll be seeing you next time. As always, I've been your host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.